Okay, how we can how here we see there is a solid hemisphere, okay, of radius r and mass m. M is the mass of the solid hemisphere only, not total solid sphere. M is the mass of the solid hemisphere only. About this axis, parallel to diameter. This is the diameter now. Parallel to diameter about this axis. What is the radius of gyration? They asked. To find the radius of gyration about this axis, first we had to find the moment of inertia about this axis. Moment of inertia about this axis. How we can find? Anybody else? How we can find in this case? How we can find moment of inertia about PQ? How we can find moment of inertia about that PQ? Suppose if you imagine another hemi-solid sphere like this, another hemi-solid sphere like this. You imagine another hemi-solid sphere like this. Now it becomes a solid sphere having mass 2m, isn't it? Here, solid sphere totally. When you imagine the another solid hemisphere and you keep like this in reverse order, then this total, when they are put in contact, it becomes entire solid sphere now. What is the total mass of the solid sphere now? Total mass of the solid sphere is equal to 2m. Total mass of the solid sphere is equal to 2m. Okay, now what is the moment of inertia of this diametric axis of the entire solid sphere? Moment of inertia of the solid sphere, moment of inertia of entire solid sphere about this axis, about this diametric axis is what? 2 by 5 mr square. No, sorry, it is the solid sphere. In case of solid sphere, what is the moment of inertia? 2 by 5 mr square. No, so 2 by 5 into mass of the entire solid sphere is 2m. General formula, first you write general formula. Mass of solid sphere, say small m, that is equal to 2 into capital M. No? Therefore, about this axis, moment of inertia is, you see, moment of inertia of this hemi-solid sphere about this axis. Moment of inertia of hemi-solid sphere. I am writing for hemi-solid sphere only. Moment of inertia of hemi-solid sphere about AB is IAB. That IAB is equal to how much? So IAB is equal to, you see, about the entire solid sphere, you find the moment of inertia about this axis and you make them half. That gives the moment of inertia for the remaining part. No, that's why moment of inertia of the hemi-solid sphere about this axis is equal to moment of inertia of the entire solid sphere about this axis by 2 gives moment of inertia of this part only. Moment of inertia of the entire solid sphere is, general formula is 2 by 5 small m r square by 2. So this is equal to, of course, 2 cancel. So 1 by 5 into mass of the entire solid sphere is equal to 2 into capital M into r square. Therefore, that is equal to 2 by 5 mr square only. No, 2 by 5 mr square only. So moment of inertia of the hemi-solid sphere about this axis is equal to 2 by 5 mr square. This is equation 1. Okay, now, is it the axis passing through center of mass or center of gravity of the hemi-solid sphere? In order to find the moment of inertia of the hemi-solid sphere about this axis PQ, if you know the moment of inertia of the hemi-solid sphere about an axis passing through center of mass or center of gravity of the hemi-solid sphere, then we can find moment of inertia about this axis. But here, in case of hemi-solid sphere, center of mass lies somewhere here. No, center of mass lies somewhere here. In case of hemi-solid sphere, at what distance center of mass lies from the center? In case of hemi-solid sphere, at what distance center of mass lies? 3r by 8. No. In case of hemi-solid sphere, center of, yeah, very good. In case of hemi-solid sphere, the center of mass lies at a distance 3r by 8 from the center of the hemi-solid sphere. In case of hollow sphere, where it lies? In case of hollow sphere, where the center of mass lies from the center of the hollow sphere? That is r by 2, no? That is r by 2 in case of hemi-hollow sphere. Okay, so this is 3r by 2, 3r by 8. So if you know the moment of inertia of this hemi-solid sphere about this axis passing through center of mass parallel to this axis, this is a CD. So this is the axis passing through center of mass and parallel to given axis. If you know the moment of inertia of hemi-solid sphere about this axis, then we can find IPQ. Our aim is we had find the moment. Our aim is we had find the moment of inertia of this hemi-solid sphere about this axis. So for that we need the moment of inertia of the hemi-solid sphere parallel to this axis passing through center of mass. That means ICD we need. ICD. ICD means this is the that is equal to IG also. This is the moment of inertia of the hemi-solid sphere about an axis parallel to this given axis passing through center of mass. We need that one to find IPQ. Our aim is we had to find moment of inertia about the chord. IPQ we had to find. So how we can find ICD about this axis? You see here about this axis already we know the moment of inertia, that is IAB. Okay, in order to find the moment of inertia about this axis, IAB according to parallax theorem, IAB is equal to IG plus m into this distance square we can write now. According to parallax theorem, from parallel axis theorem, moment of inertia about this AB, that means IAB, is equal to moment of inertia about an axis parallel to this axis passing through center of mass, means this axis only, no? That's why IG plus m into perpendicular distance between the two parallel axis square means y square. So IG means about this axis moment of inertia we have to find, that is ICD, plus m into y means 3r by 8, square is there, 3r by 8 whole square. IAB means already we got, IAB is equal to 2 by 5 mr square, 2 by 5 m into r square. Therefore ICD is equal to IG. Moment of inertia about an axis passing through center of mass or center of gravity is equal to, IG is equal to, tell me, 2 by 5 mr square, bring this to left, then 9 by 64 mr square, no? 9 by 64 mr square. Therefore, when you simplify them, then you will get, what is the value you will get? ICD is equal to IG, that is equal to, take LCM, 5 4s are 20, 32 you will get. 64 into 2, that means 128 mr square, minus here 64 5s are, that means 5 into 9, 45 mr square when you take LCM. Then ICD is equal to IG, that is equal to 128 minus 45, that means 83, no? 83 mr square by 320. This is equation 2. This is the moment of inertia of the hemi-solid sphere about this axis. About this axis. Okay, when you know the moment of inertia about this axis, then again you apply the parallax theorem for this axis. Okay, again from parallax theorem, IPQ is equal to, that means moment of inertia about the given axis is equal to moment of inertia of the same body about an axis parallel to given axis passing through center of mass means ICD. IG is equal to ICD. IG plus m into small r square. Small r square means distance between these two axes square, small r square. So mr square. Again you apply the parallax theorem. This is equal to IG means already we got 83 m capital R square by 320 plus m into, what about this one? What about this distance? I think that distance is given in the problem. That distance is given as 3r by 4. This distance is given by them only. This distance is given by them only. That is 3r by 4 is given. 3r by 4. Yeah, 3r by 4 is given. If here, what is the radius of gyration of the hemi-solid sphere about this axis, which is at a distance 3r by 4 from the center? Means this distance is given by them only. If it is given by them, then what about the smaller? What about the smaller? What about the smaller? 3r by 3r by 4 minus 3r by 8. Okay, so 3r by 4 minus 3r by 8, that is small r whole square. Therefore IPQ is equal to 83 mRs. Okay, you simplify them. After simplification, what is the value you will get? Okay, when you simplify them, you will get 2 by 5 mR square only. After simplification, you will get 2 by 5 mR square only. IPQ is equal to, you will get 2 by 5 mR square only. Here they asked the radius of gyration. That's why this is equal to, you make them equal to half m into kpq square. Mm cancel. Therefore kpq is equal to root 2 by 5 into capital R. No, this is the radius of gyration about this axis. So radius of gyration about that axis is equal to root 2 by 5 capital R. Yeah, that is the answer. So this method is important. In this way we have to do. So suppose if it is the hollow sphere, hollow hemisphere, in such case the central mass is at a distance r by 2. This distance we have to take r by 2. From this distance, if you subtract this r by 2, then you will get this distance. By following the same procedure, using the formulas, relevant formulas, we can find the radius of gyration about this axis. In this way we had to do. Okay, next 8th one or 9th one, what is the next note point? 8th or 9th? I think 7th I have written. Okay, next 8th one. So moment of inertia of the circular disk of inner and outer radii are given. Moment of inertia of annular ring. Annular ring means annular disk. Annular disk means at the middle there is a hole. That means annular disk is like this. It is the center. Inner radius is smaller, outer radius is capital R. Mass capital M. For this moment of inertia of the annular disk about an axis passing through center and perpendicular to the plane, what is the moment of inertia? That means here you see, this is the annular disk about an axis passing through center and perpendicular to plane. About this axis, what is the moment of inertia they asked? That is the question. So if you see the diagram, we can see it like this. Okay, inner radius means this one. This is smaller, this is capital R given. Mass is capital M. How we can find? Here, this is not the circular ring, no. In case of circular ring means the inner radius and outer radius both are same because thickness is very small. In case of circular ring, inner radius and outer radius both are same. That's why in case of circular ring about this axis, what is the moment of inertia means simply we can say mr square. But here it is the annular disk. Annular disk means the inner radius is given, outer radius is given. In this case, what is the moment of inertia? So how we can find? For this, you imagine there is a small circular element. You see, I will show the diagram here. You imagine it is the combination of number of circular rings. Such type of one circular ring I will show here. Suppose the radius of the circular element considered. This is the circular element. This is a circular element whose radius is say small a and width is say b. No, width is dA. Width is dA. Mass of the circular element considered is say dm. Okay, then here you see the mass of the disk m distributes uniformly over its surface area, no? So it is having surface density. So in case of any body having plane surface, their mass is distributed uniformly over its surface. In case of the solid body, solid means in case of the body is having some volume, considerable volume, then it is having volume density. Okay. So here, first you consider the small element. First you consider the small element as shown here. Small element whose radius is A and width is dA. It is just like the circular ring, no? About this axis, what is the moment of inertia? We have to find. As in case of circular annular disk, the mass distributes over its surface. Then it is having surface density. So what is the surface density of the annular disk? Surface density. Surface density sigma is equal to mass by surface area. What is the surface area of the annular disk where mass lies? Surface area of the annular disk means from this total area, you subtract the area of the whole. That gives the area of the material of the annular disk only, no? That's why area of material of the annular disk means pi into capital R square minus small r square. So on this area only, this mass is distributed in the annular disk. So what is the mass per unit area? Means m by this one, no? Yeah, you are correct, Varshit Reddy. Okay, it is the mass per unit area or surface density. Now, what is the mass of the element considered? Mass of the element considered is a dm. Mass of the element is equal to area of the element into density. Sigma into area of the element dA. That is equal sigma into, sigma is constant, you keep aside. Area of the element means, here the radius of the element considered is A. Okay, that's why circumference is equal to 2 pi A, no? 2 pi A into width dA. That's why 2 pi A into width dA. This is the area of the element. So sigma into area of the element gives mass of the element considered there. Mass of the element considered there. Okay, therefore, moment of inertia of this circular element about this axis. As this element is in the form of circular ring, it becomes the natural axis for the circular ring. That's why moment of inertia of the circular element considered here is equal to mass into radius square, mass dm into radius of the ring square means a square. That is equal to dm means sigma into 2 pi a into dA into a square is there. So a square. Okay, therefore 2 pi sigma into a square. That means a to the power of 3 into dA. It is the moment of inertia of the circular element considered. This type of circular elements can be imagined from radius a is equal to small r to capital R, because these elements can be imagined from radius small r to capital R only. That's why integrate between small r to capital R. Therefore, total moment of inertia about this natural axis is equal to integral di, integral moment of inertia of the element. So this radius of this element can be imagined from this radius of these elements can be imagined from radius a is equal to small r to capital R. That's why a is equal to small r to capital R, you integrate. That is equal to integral di means 2 pi sigma into a cube dA. When you consider number of elements, the radius of the elements changes. That means a is variable, remaining does not change. So this is equal to 2 pi sigma is constant into integral a cube dA. Limits small a is equal to r to capital R. Okay, therefore I is equal to 2 pi sigma into, here integral a cube dA means a to the power of 4 by 4, limits small r to capital R. So 2 pi sigma by 4 you write outside into, instead of a substitute capital R to the power of 4 minus small r to the power of 4. When you substitute lower limit, we had put minus sign. Now we substitute the data. 2 pi by 4 into sigma means m by this one. M by pi into capital R square minus small r square. Here this can be written as r square minus small r square into r square plus r square, we can write now. R square minus small r square into r square plus small r square. A plus b into a minus b we can write. This r square minus small r square, this one cancel, pi cancel, 2 2s are. Therefore, I is equal to m into capital R square plus small r square whole by 2. This is the moment of inertia of the annular disk. with inner radius small r and outer radius capital R. So yeah, m by 2 into capital R square plus small r square. That is the moment of inertia. Okay, in this way we have to do. I think you could follow. No, surface density is generally formula. No, surface density is called mass by area. Area of material of the disk means pi into capital R square minus small r square only. No, we are not remembering the formulas. Surface density means definitely that is fixed formula. Mass by area, that is formula. In this case, what is the area means pi of r square minus small r square. Here not remembering these formulas. If you are remembering the formulas, what is the need of making videos? Personally, okay, just I say the formula for this is this one, formula for that one that is. So in this way we can say, but we need the concept, no, because in especially for mains it is okay, but advanced it is not okay. In advance, based on that concept you have to, we should do the problem. In such cases it becomes difficult if you don't know the concept. Okay, right. You see, in fourth problem, we are given one circular disc. We are given one circular disc of radius capital R, from which a small circular disc of radius r by 2 is removed from the edge. The remaining part of the disc is having mass m. Then what is the moment of inertia of the remaining part about the axis passing through center O, perpendicular to the plane of the disc, or perpendicular plane of the plate. About this axis, they asked the moment of inertia. First, you feel that there is entire disc, no removal of the small part. Total disc is there having mass say m0. Then you find the moment of inertia of that entire disc about this axis. That is the moment of inertia without the removal part, without removed. Okay, that means without removal of this part, you find the moment of inertia of the disc about this axis. From that moment of inertia of this part you subtract, then that gives the moment of inertia of the remaining part. Okay, in order to find the moment of inertia of the entire total disc, we need the mass of the entire disc. No, we are given mass of the only this part of the disc only, removed remained part only. So suppose the mass of the entire part, if mass of plate, mass of circular plate, mass of plate without removal is equal to say m0. Without removal is equal to say m0. How we can find this mass? If you know that mass, we can write this formula. Okay, we can find the moment of inertia of the removed part also very easily. How we can find the mass of the entire disc without removal of mass in terms of this m? Because m0 we imagine m is given by them. As it is a circular plate, definitely mass resides only on the surface, no? Mass distributes uniformly entire its area, no? That's why if m is the mass of the remaining part, then what is the surface density? Surface density. Because surface density is same for everyone. Surface density is equal to mass of the given remained part by area of the remained part. What is the area of the remained part? From the total area of the circular plate, you subtract the area of this small plate removed. Total area is pi capital R square. From this, pi into r by 2 whole square is the area of the removed part. So sigma is equal to m by pi r square minus pi r square by 4. Therefore, you will get that is equal to sigma is equal to 4m by 3 pi r square. This is equation 1. It is the mass per unit area. That is the surface density. Therefore, what is the mass of the entire circular plate? Mass of the entire circular plate m0 is equal to surface density. That means mass per unit area into area of the entire disc is called pi r square. No, pi r square. That is equal to sigma. Sigma means 4m by 3 pi r square into pi r square. So pi r square cancel. Therefore, m0 is equal to 4m by 3. It is the mass of the entire disc before this part is removed. Okay, what is the mass of the removed part? Mass of the removed part we need to find the moment of inertia of the removed part. Mass of the removed part means surface density into area of the removed part. Area of the removed part is called pi into r by 2 whole square only, no? So sigma means 4m by 3 pi r square into r square by 4. 4 cancel, r square cancel. No, here pi is there, no? Pi cancel. Therefore, m is equal to m by 3. M by 3. Okay. So this is equation 3. Now you write from this equation 1, I remained is equal to, tell me, what is the moment of inertia of the entire disk without removal of the small part? Without removal of the small part, mass of the entire disk is equal to capital M naught. So moment of inertia of the circular plate about this axis is equal to mr square by 2 only, no? M means m naught into radius square by 2 minus mass of the moment of inertia of the removed part means, you see, for this removed part about the same axis, moment of inertia of the removed part means this is the axis passing through one edge. That means it is a tangential axis perpendicular to plane of the plate. Perpendicular to plane of the plate. Moment of inertia about this axis we had to find. Parallel to this axis passing through center of mass of this removed part. We know the moment of inertia, Iz. Okay. Then about this axis, you apply the parallax theorem and write the moment of inertia about this axis for this removed plate. Moment of inertia of the removed part about the natural axis parallel to about the axis parallel to given axis passing through center of mass is equal to mass of this part into radius mr square by 2. So mass of the removed part is small m into radius r by 2. Of course, small r you write small r square by 2 plus m into distance between these two parallel axes. That means r by 2 only. R by 2 whole square. That means r square by 4. Okay. This is equal to m naught r square by 2 minus, here you see, m by 2 into small r means capital R by 2, whole square means r square by 4 plus mr square by 2. Sorry, mr square by 4. So now you substitute the data. M naught means 4m by 3. 4m by 3 into r square by 2 minus, here mr square by 8 plus mr square by 4. This is equal to, here when you simplify them, 2 mr square by 3 minus, when you take LCM, you will get 3 mr square by 8, no? Because mr square plus 2 mr square, when you take LCM, that means 3 mr square by 8. But m, we imagine, capital M is given by them. So in terms of capital M, we have to write 2 mr square by 3 minus 3 by 8 into, what is small m? Small m is equal to m by 3. You write m by 3 into capital R square. 3 cancel. So this is equal to 2 mr square by 3 minus mr square by 8. Again you take LCM. 24 is the LCM, no? Then 3 8s are 8 into 2, 16. 16 mr square minus 8 3s are 3 mr square. That is equal to 15 mr square by 24. Okay, no, sorry, 13 mr square by 24. So 13 mr square by 24. Yeah, that is only answer. So I remained is equal to 13 mr square by 24. It is the answer. 13 mr square by 24. Okay, that is the answer. I think sixth problem in this I said. Next, fifth one, very, very important. I want to say here only. Fifth problem. Right, you see. A uniform disk of radius r is equal to 8 centimeter lies in xy plane. Lies in xy plane. With its center at the origin. There is a circular disk. There is a circular disk whose radius is given. Radius r is equal to 8 centimeter given. This lies in xy plane with center at the origin. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis. So it is origin. It is x-axis, it is y-axis. Okay, it is origin. Okay, its moment of inertia about z-axis is equal to. So moment of inertia about z-axis means this is the z-axis now. About this z-axis, moment of inertia is, that is given. Moment of inertia about z-axis is equal to What is the moment of inertia about z-axis? Suppose mass of the disk is say capital M. Then moment of inertia about z-axis means it is the natural axis of the disk. No, it is the axis passing through center perpendicular to the plane of the disk, because the plane of the disk lies in xy plane. So that is equal to mr square by 2 only. No, mr square by 2. You keep like this. It is the moment of inertia about z-axis. Okay, that is equal to moment of inertia about a line 4y is equal to 3x plus 4c. That is one straight line. That is one straight line. 4y plus 3x, 4y is equal to 3x plus c. That is one straight line. Okay, suppose that straight line lies here. That straight line lies in xy plane only. So that is the straight line lies here. This is equal to 4y. 4y is equal to 3x plus 4c, or 3x minus 4y plus 4c is equal to 0. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. In such a way, that is a straight line equation. One straight line is there. About this straight line, the moment of inertia of the this disk, that is same as moment of inertia of the disk about z-axis. That is a question. Okay. Here, what is the slope of the straight line? What is the slope of the straight line? Slope of the straight line means angle made by the straight line with x-axis we have to find. Angle made by the straight line with x-axis we have to find. Okay, then we have to apply the parallaxes theorem. What is the perpendicular distance of the straight line from the origin? From this origin, from the center or origin, you draw a perpendicular line. Perpendicular distance of the straight line from the center is already, by using this formula we know. Okay, therefore small r is equal to, tell me, small r is the perpendicular distance of the straight line from the origin. Okay, that is equal to, tell me, c by square root of a square plus b square. Now c means 4c by a square means square root of 3 square plus b square means 4 square. Because ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. No, c means 4c, a means 3, b means 4. So 4 square. That is equal to 4c by 25 means 5. No, 4c by 5. Perpendicular distance is this one. About this about this axis, we need the moment of inertia. Parallel to this axis, parallel to this line, passing through center of mass, we know the moment of inertia. About this axis, moment of inertia say Iz. Then about this axis, moment of inertia is say I dash. So I dash is equal to moment of inertia of the disk about this card lies along this straight line is equal to Iz plus mr square according to parallax theorem, m into small r square. So Iz means moment of inertia of this square plate, circular plate, parallel to this straight line passing through center of mass is equal to Iz means mr square by 4. No, it is the diametric axis. No, that's why mr square by 4 plus m into r square means this one, 4c by 5 whole square. Okay, this is the moment of inertia. But according to the problem, this is 2. According to the problem, these two are equal. Therefore, Iz is equal to I dash. Iz means mr square by 2 is equal to, here it is mr square by 4 plus m into 16c square by 25. Okay, therefore, you bring this to left and you take, you subtract them. Then you will get mr square by 4 is equal to m into 16c square by 25. M cancel. Okay, therefore, c square is equal to, you write, c square is equal to 25 by 64 into r square. R c is equal to 5 by 8 r. Okay, but r is given. The radius is 8 centimeter. Therefore, c is equal to 5 by 8 r. R means 8. Since r is equal to 8 centimeter given. So c is equal to 5. No, c is equal to 5. C is equal to 5. But here c square is equal to this one. C can be taken as plus or minus, because c square is equal to, c is equal to plus or minus, you write, because square root of this one, now we can write plus or minus. Therefore, c is equal to plus or minus 5 centimeter we can write. So this is the problem. So it is also one important problem for advance. Okay. Why mr square by 4 means, again you are coming back to the original points. In case of circular disc, about an axis passing through center and perpendicular to the plane of the disc, moment of inertia is mr square by 2 only, no? About the diametric axis, moment of inertia is mr square by 4, no? Just before starting the class here today, just at the beginning of the class, I said these formulas only. By using parallax theorem, perpendicular axis theorem, how we can find the moment of inertia, already I explained first. Okay, today you see videos, then you know the formulas. So you have to remember the formulas first. You practice the formulas, then you can do the problems easily. Okay, right.